Hello everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Fight Summer Series Tournament Bracket Breakdown. I was able to get it out. Where the winner will face the Hobbit, Robert Parker, at Mayhem at the Multiplex 2 for the Fandom Fights Singles Championship. I'm MrEliMac, and this is going to be a very interesting tournament that we are having today, brought to you by the commissioners of Fandom Fights, Kane McMillan and Caleb Coho. Don't know why it's taking me forever to get those names out. Anyway, this may be a different setup. Let me adjust it a bit. There we go. This is a different setup from what I'm usually doing because right now I'm not on my webcam. I'm on an actual camera only for this bracket breakdown. And since it's only me, I'm able to do this sort of setup. But if I were having a partner or a panel, I would be on my webcam. But anyway, I am just going to be looking at each region and each district, and I'm also going to be looking at the record of each opponent and each competitor to see and sort of give you an idea of what these matches are going to be like. Now, am I going to be choosing a winner for each match? No, I am not. I don't want to sway any bias for the people who potentially want to fill out their own brackets. I don't want them to have any sort of bias because of me. Man, this is very annoying. Here we go. Okay, this is a good look. So, let's get right into the bracket. First match that I'm going from left to right. That's you looking into it. I'm going left to right, and I'm going to be starting in the Hogsmeade region. And the first match that we have in the Hogsmeade division is the number 1 ranked competitor, Dominic Rizzi, versus the number 32 competitor, Caleb Boatman. Now, let's look at each competitor right now. Let's look at their records. First, we have Dominic Rizzi, the number 1 ranked in this tournament, and he is 5-1. 5 wins, 1 defeat. That is a very strong record to have going into this tournament because the Hobbit, Robert Parker, he's going in ready for his title defense, undefeated, multiple knockouts, and Dominic Rizzi is most likely going to be a favorite, whilst you have Caleb Boatman, who is 0-1, excluding the play-in that he had to go in. And so he is 0-1, and he is a rookie for this season 2 of Multiplex. He is a rookie. So it's very interesting to see how this dynamic is going to go in, because you have Dominic Rizzi, who has been a strong competitor, who came in, who started in Multiplex and in Fandom Fights after the first Summer Series tournament, and him being a strong rookie competitor. Though he had a chance to fight for the title against Robert Parker a long time ago, he lost. That's where you has that one loss against Case Cornelisa, and currently who is in the Schmodown, Jen Kemp. He lost that triple threat match, but now he is most likely fighting his way through, trying to get that loss off of his record, and he's going to try his hardest to go and defeat Caleb Boatman, who is 0-1 and was able to fight and win to get into this tournament. Caleb Boatman is most likely going to put up a strong fight, in my opinion, because I've seen him compete. He knows his knowledge. If he gets Fandom Oscars, he may run the gauntlet because he knows his Oscars. I have seen him in many of After Show going, zipping through those Oscars, especially in Fandom. So if he gets Fandom Oscars, he is going to run the gauntlet with Dominic Rizzi, and I'm very much thinking that this could go, in my opinion, it can go either way. Though Caleb Boatman is ranked number 32, he is a very strong competitor. But again, Dominic Rizzi, he's a very strong Fandom Fights competitor. He is known as the movie nerd for a reason, and I very much see this to be more even than most people were to believe. So moving on, down in the Hogsmeade bracket, you have the number 16th seed Thomas Scully versus the number 17th seed Henry Sanchez. Now, both competitors, strong competitors. Thomas Scully, number 16, he is 1-1, a rookie with a 1-1 record. He is partnered with Caleb Boatman in Fandom teams, And in that, they both have strong showings. And I think Thomas Scully could really come out with a win. However, Henry Sanchez, looking at his record, Henry wearing number 17, also 1-1. Not a rookie. Not a rookie to say the least to any of these, anything. And he is also a strong competitor. Both competitors, very strong. Now, who in the end is going to get the win, I don't know. Honestly, all I know for sure is that each competitor, Thomas and Henry, have very strong chances to go through, to go up against Dominic or Caleb. And no matter what, round 2 is going to be a great bracket. And it's going to be a great match, whoever comes out to win. And again, I don't have all of the stats, I just have the record. So 1-1 versus 1-1, it could honestly go either way. Thomas versus Henry, I'm just very much looking forward to that match to see how each competitor go up against each other. I'm going to be watching for that match. 16 versus 17, Thomas Scully versus Henry Sanchez. I can't wait for that match. Now, continuing on down for the next half of this region, we have the number 8 seed, Maggie Bracala. I almost forgot how to pronounce your last name, Maggie. Maggie Bracala versus number 25th seed, Zaddius Smith. Sister Maggie versus the Z-Man. Now, Maggie, rookie season this year. 2-0 with 1 knockout. If that is your rookie season, I don't know how you can beat her. Because, again, having a knockout alone is enough to show how much of a strong competitor you are. And this is her rookie season. She's 2-0. She's undefeated, and she already has a knockout. Yeah, that is a strong competitor. Where you have the Z-Man, overall, his record is 1-2. 1 win, 2 losses. So, in my opinion, Zaddius needs to bring up a strong game to beat Maggie. Because Maggie, the wife of Tim Bracala, the sister to Robert Parker, I can already tell you right now, they've been studying, they've been training each other, they've been going, all three have been going up against each other, most likely to make sure that this tournament, that the Bracalas have a strong showing in this tournament. And again, it's hard to determine who to choose, but I mean, Maggie right now, again, 2-0, this is a rookie season, 1 knockout. She has a strong potential to go up to beat Zaddius Smith, but again, I just want to say this right now, though Zaddius has 1-2, all it takes is 1 mess up to change the entire division and to change the entire match. So Zaddius could wait for that mess up, see the mess up, take the advantage, take the reins, and he could come out with the win. Because again, he has 1 win. It's not 0-2. He is 1-2. So I think there's a chance that Zaddius could win, but it is by a small percentages. Am I saying Maggie's going to win? No, I'm saying there is a chance that Zaddius could win. Excuse me, but again, having being 2-0 with 1 knockout is going to be very hard to beat that. And she's ranked number 8 for a reason. So this is going to be a very interesting match to see if Zaddius can take down Sister Maggie. But at the exact same time, it's going to be very interesting to see if Maggie Bracala can continue on and move on to see who she's going to face in this next match in the Hogsmeade division, which is the number 9 ranked Jeremy Adams versus the number 24 ranked Richard Schwartz. Jeremy Adams, we cannot deny he is a strong competitor. Record 4-2, 1 knockout. Again, when you have that 1 knockout in your record, it's going to be very hard to take you down, or trying to find a way to take you down. And plus, 4-2, one of those 2s is from the Hobbit Robert Parker, because Jeremy Adams faced Robert Parker for the championship. Jeremy knows what it's like to be in that championship spot. He knows this pressure, he knows all that gets into him. So he may go ahead and say, hey, I want to win this tournament. I want to fix the mistake that I had the first time, and he could easily remedy that by winning this tournament. And if he wins, he could go up against Maggie or Zaddius. But again, we cannot forget about number 24 ranked Richard Schwartz. Richard Schwartz, 1-1, rookie season already, 1-1. He is a strong competitor. I've gone up against him in the comic book leagues. I have, again, in the comic book leagues run by Grant Gregory, I have gone up against him there. He is a strong competitor. He knows his comic book nerdy knowledge. But let's see if he'll be able to stand up against Jeremy Adams. Now, Richard, he is he is a strong competitor. I believe that he is a strong competitor. But again, he's going up against Jeremy Adams, who has proven that he can go to the championship match. So let's see if Richard Schwartz will be able to take down Jeremy Adams. I think there's a possibility that he could take him down, but again, it all depends on the questions and how each round is played. So that's the Hogsmeade division. Dominic Rizzi versus Caleb Boatman, Thomas Scully versus Henry Sanchez, Maggie Bracala versus Zadia Smith, and Jeremy Adams versus Richard Schwartz. Who do you have winning that region of the bracket? Go ahead and post in your comments who you think is going to win and who you think is going to win each match. But until then, until we look at what you say, we're going to go down onto the Nowhere region. Yes, we're moving on to the next region, the region right below Hogsmeade. And the first match we're going to look at is the number 4 ranked James White versus the number 29th ranked JD West. Let's look at their record. James White, a rookie this season, 2-0. Not a knockout, but he is 2-0. That brings him at a high advantage right now. Being, again, when you're able to say that you have 2 wins and no losses, that brings a great advantage. James White, he's able to go into this tournament with that mindset of, I have no losses, let's see if you can beat me. And if he has that confidence going into this match, that is definitely going to be in his advantage. However, you have JD West, who has 1 win and 3 losses, and that 1 win was a knockout. Again, as I said earlier, if you have a knockout in your record, there is a high chance that you can continue on and have great things in your matches, and you can put up great matches. So, James West is going up against someone who has a knockout in his record, and I'm almost sure that JD West can continue on with that. He could potentially have another victory. He could potentially go 2-3, and he may be the one to give James West his first loss. If that happens, that's going to be a very entertaining match, and it's something not many people are going to suspect. I'm very much looking forward to this match. Because it is a match that I don't believe many people are expecting JD to win. I bet a lot of people right now are putting their money on James West, and I think it would be smart to put the money on James West. However, you cannot, in my opinion, you should never rule out the lower ranked competitor, because again, all about the questions, all about how you bet your points, that's all about the strategy. You have to work out the strategy, and JD may be able to work the strategy in his advantage and potentially get a second knockout or just get a second win and deliver James West his first loss. But anyway, James White versus JD West, my apologies, that is going to be a stellar match. And now, moving on down, we have the number 13th ranked Kane McMillan versus the number 20th ranked Sean McKee. Kane McMillan, again, one of the commissioners of Fandom Fights, putting himself, or again, looking at the record and him being put at number 13 by probably a panel. They probably had Tim Smith, the big CEO of, the chairman of Multiplex Entertainment. He was the one that probably looked at the final bracket and said, okay, let's make some changes, let me look at the records. He was the one that probably made the final call after Caleb and Kane said, here's our bracket. And Tim's probably the one that made the final call. I'm not 100%. I'm not in the administrative. I'm not in the admin chats. I'm not in the admin boards. I have no idea what happens. But having Kane McMillan as number 13, let's look at his record. He's 2-2. I would not... excuse me, I'm not shocked to see him at number 13, because having a 2-2 record overall, that is a great record to have, because it shows that you're able to take some losses, but it also shows that you can dish some victories too, that you can dish some pain. You can take it and you can give it. And I'm very much looking forward to Kane continuing on to see if he can go 3-2 or if he's going to go 2-3. But his opponent, Sean McKee, number 20, rookie, he's a rookie this season, and he's 1-1. So seeing someone who's not a rookie, 2-2, versus a rookie that's 1-1, that is very much something that I think is going to be great for this tournament, and I'm very much looking forward to this match, because I want to see if the rookie can continue on. Maybe he took that loss and he was thinking, man, I really want to make sure that I can't get another loss. So this may be his time to go into the tournament and say, hey, I want to prove that that loss does not define me, and he may want to beat Kane. Whereas Kane, another member of the Fellowship, going into this tournament, is going to fight his way and excuse me, he's going to fight his way to make sure that a Fellowship member with Sister Maggie in this side, the left side of the bracket, going to make sure that the Fellowship takes over this side of the bracket. And who knows, maybe in the semifinals of that side of the bracket, it may be Sister Maggie versus Kane McMillan, Fellowship versus Fellowship. That means, no matter what, that in the finals, a Fellowship member is going to be competing. But we don't know that. Let's not jump to conclusions. And that's that half of the Nowhere region. Now we're going to go to the next half, which we have the number 5 ranked competitor Chris Doman versus the number 28th competitor Malcolm Lay. I have been in the ring with both of these men in different divisions or in different leagues, and let me tell you, both men are strong competitors. Both men know what they're talking about when you talk about geek stuff, when you talk about nerdy stuff, even when you talk about wrestling. Chris, I don't know that much about, if he knows so much about wrestling, not 100%. And I know Malcolm knows some wrestling, but let's look at their records. Chris Doman, number 5, he is 2-0. He is not a rookie, and he is undefeated. Now, when I say he's not a rookie, I mean he has fought in the team leagues. I'm not 100% sure about singles, if he is a rookie, but even if he's not a rookie when it comes to singles, having a 2-0 record is very strong when you're able to walk into a tournament saying, hey, I'm undefeated, let's see what you got. Whereas Malcolm Lay, at 28, has a 1-3 record. That's not a very strong record to have going into this tournament. But again, there have been other people that had 1-3 records that may have a chance to take down their stronger competitors. And I think Malcolm May has a very strong chance to beat Chris Doman. That's just my opinion, because again, I've seen both men when it comes to their matches. Chris Doman, he fought for the Fandom Fights team title with his partner, Case Cornelisa, and I'm very much looking forward to see what Doman can do in singles and see if he can win this tournament in singles, seeing that Case is not in this tournament at all. But let's see if there's going to be a chance if Malcolm can win this tournament, proving everyone wrong when he goes into this further along in this match and in the quarters and semis and the finals. Continuing on, we have the number 12th ranked Lucas Schilbach versus number 21 ranked Alec Miller. Now, Lucas Schilbach, he is a very strong competitor. Number 12 record, 2-2, 1 knockout. And let's not forget, not only does he have that record in singles, he was also one half of the very first Fandom Fights team champions with former partner Paul Oyama, who's currently in the Schmodown. And I very much think that Lucas has a strong possibility to continue on and possibly win this tournament. Again, he has 1 knockout. I think there is a chance for him to win this tournament. And again, he's going up against Alec Miller, who I believe is a rookie. Yes, he is a rookie with a 1-1 record. 2-2, 1 knockout versus a 1-1. That 1 knockout is sort of what tips the scales in Lucas's corner. However, Alec Miller, having a 1-1 record, having a strong record in his rookie season already, there is a strong likelihood that Lucas Schilbach may have his work cut out for him. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing if that 1 knockout that Lucas has can stay on his shoulder and be one of those motivating factors of no one can beat me. So, looking down at the Nowhere region bracket, we have James White versus J.D. West, Kane McMillan versus Sean McKee, Chris Doman versus Malcolm Lay, and Lucas Schilbach versus Alec Miller. This left side of the bracket, it is a very strong bracket. I'm very much looking forward to seeing who continues on. And when round 2 comes around, I'm going to be telling you about what happened prior in round 1 and talking about the competitors in round 2. Now we're looking at the right side of the bracket, the district side of the bracket. And first, in the Nublar district, we have the number 2 ranked competitor, Sandy Robinson, versus the number 31 ranked competitor, Nick Carley. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Nick Carley, but that's just based off of what I'm looking at. Now, Sandy Robinson, again, ranked number 2. He has a record of 3-2. He has fought for titles in different leagues. Full Metal Geek, for example, he has fought Robert Parker for a title before in that league. So he knows what he needs to have. He knows the knowledge that he needs to have if he wants to go up against Robert Parker. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he knows what he needs to study. And Nick Carley, being 0-1, he's not had a single victory But it's okay. It is okay to have no victories when you're going up against someone like Sandy Robinson, because this could be the match that puts you on the map when you have an 0-1 record. It could be, oh, I have 0-1, I may not win. You go up against Sandy, you beat him, and then you're like, oh, I just beat the number 2 ranked. If I can beat him, I can continue on and I can win everything. And that's something that I believe people really need to have. Like Caleb Boatman, who is 0-1, excluding the 5-way match. This could be, excuse me again, this could be the match that puts them on the map, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this match plays out. Again, Sandy knows what he needs to have to go up against Robert, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing if he can pull out the victory against Nick Carly. Now, continuing on, the number 15 ranked Nazario Montenegro versus the number 18 ranked Nico Rigoli. Now, let's look at Nazario's record. 2-2. Again, 2-2, not a knockout, but still, he's 2-2 record, and that is a strong record to have early on into this tournament. Nico having a 2-3 record, only having one extra match than Nazario, because he was there early on in the very beginning when they did the very first Summer Series tournament, and he has one loss extra to Nazario. Now, when you look at this match by itself, a lot of people are going to say Nazario, but I am saying Nico always has a shot. You should never count out Nico Rigoli, because he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. You put him in TV, he knows his stuff. You put him in Fandom TV, he knows his stuff. You put him in wrestling, he definitely knows his stuff. But again, I think this is going to be a match that not a lot of people are expecting. The outcome that happens may not be the one they're expecting. Again, a lot of people are expecting Nazario to come out with the victory. I honestly think Nico could come out with victory, and this is not me having any biases at all. I think there is a very strong chance that both men could put up a very strong match, and then we get a victory that not many people have suspected. And I'm very much looking forward to this match. Now, continuing on in the Nublar District, we have the number 7 ranked Douglas Castle versus the number 26 ranked Jay Burns. Looking at the records, Douglas Castle, rookie, 2-0, having a 2-0. Again, I said this earlier, when you have a 2-0 record and you're a rookie, you've already established your dominance. You're saying, hey, I'm one of the strongest competitors you have here, and I'm just a rookie. Let's see what you got. And Jay Burns, he has the record of, where are you? There you are, Jay. He has the record of 1-2, one victory and 2 losses. Now, I've seen him in Full Metal Geek. I know he's a strong competitor. He is stronger than most people give credit. And he's also one of the best people on the mic, if I may say so myself. And again, I think Douglas Castle has his work cut out for him when he's going up against Jay. I really feel like Douglas really needs to study hard if he wants to make sure that he can beat Jay soundly. And that's just my opinion. I think Jay also has a fight up for him for Douglas. He needs to be able to put all that knowledge that he has and put it against Douglas. And I'm very much looking forward to this match, because I think this match, ignoring where they're seated, this match could go either way. Continuing on, ranked at number 10, Tim Bracala versus the number 23 ranked Adonis Nazario. Tim Bracala, again, he is one half of the Fandom Fights team champion. He knows his stuff, because he's already a champion. He's a team champion. And his record currently in singles is 2-1. That one loss to him, I bet he's thinking right now, oh, I have one loss, that means nothing. I'm the champ in the team leagues, because Robert Parker's my partner, and and we've been studying non-stop right now. So he probably has a very strong chance to win this match. However, Adonis Nazario is 1-1. He's been able to prove that he can take a victory and he can take a loss. And I'm very curious to see if he's going to be able to continue on, if he's going to be able to stop Brother Tim and move on in the tournament. I'm very much thinking that Tim may need to study a little bit more when it comes to Nazario, and I'm also thinking very much that Adonis needs to study his hardest to beat Brother Tim. Because Tim Bracala is a very strong competitor. No one's going to deny that. Again, when you look at him and seeing that he's one half of the Fandom Fights team champion, you very much need to be on your A game when you're going up against him. Now, going over the Nublar District again, you have Sandy Robinson versus Nick Carly, Nazario Montenegro versus Nico Rigoli, Douglas Castle versus Jay Burns, and Tim Bracala versus Adonis Nazario. That is a strong district, and I'm very much looking forward to who comes out of that district when they get to the semifinals. Now, moving on to the final part final section of our tournament, the Montuni District. And the first match we have is the number 3 ranked competitor Caleb Coho versus the number 30th ranked competitor Cody Newberry. I'm gonna talk about their records, and then I'm gonna talk about the story behind them. Caleb Coho, his record: 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 knockout. Cody Newberry, he's a rookie for this season. 0 wins, 1 defeat. Now, we got the records out of the way. Let's just talk about the story behind this. We have Caleb Coho, who is considered, in my opinion, one of the greatest heels in Multiplex, versus Cody Newberry, who's the manager, the main manager for the Fellowship, and the Fandom Fights partner to Kane McMillan, making the team of Ragnarok. Now, this story, like, ignoring the match competitor by themselves and more ignoring the competitors and just looking at this through story perspective, this is going to be one of the greatest matches in this tournament, because the story by itself is going to show exactly everything that you need to know. You have the King Caleb Coho. I can't remember his faction name. I think it's the Kings of the Round Table. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, Caleb Coho will let me know. Versus the manager of the Fellowship, Cody Newberry. Both of them are managers for their own faction, and having them go up against each other, that is amazing. Caleb Coho right now, I know for a fact, he's thinking to himself, oh, I'm going to win this match. I'm going to win this match. No one's going to beat me. Oh, Cody Newberry, 0-1. Oh, I have a knockout. I'm going to knock him out. And Cody Newberry is most likely going like, I'm studying with Robert, Tim, Maggie, Kane, Jake. All the Fellowship members are making sure that I know my stuff. That way I can beat you. And that's what's going to be the difference maker, in my opinion. Caleb is going in probably a little cocky and a little arrogant, whereas Cody is studying his heart out with a lot of strong Fandom Fights players. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this match goes. It may surprise people if Cody Newberry wins, but also it might surprise people if Caleb Coho wins. Because no matter what, whoever wins, they're not going to shut up about it. And I'm very much looking forward to what the promos are going to be like before and after the match. Going on next to the next match, number 14th ranked Rene Villarreal Jr. versus the number 19th ranked Jim Green. RJ versus Jim Green. RJ is a strong competitor in Full Metal Geek. I know. I have gone up against him in Full Metal Geek, and he has a lot of luck. Yeah, there's some history there, and I'm not going to bring it up because this is unbiased. But he is a very strong competitor when it comes to Full Metal Geek and Fandom Fights. He is a strong competitor. His record right now, looking at it, is 2-2. Again, 2-2 record. Ranger Force teamed with Tim Smith. He is a strong competitor, and people probably don't look at it that way, but people really need to realize that RJ is a very strong competitor, and he can go up against them all. Now, he probably says to a lot of people, oh, I'm not as strong of a competitor as you think, but to me, RJ is a very strong competitor, and he is someone to look out for. And then you look at Jim Green, ranked number 19, with a record of 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 knockout. Again, he has that knockout. He can use that to his advantage. He can go into it thinking, oh, I have the knockout. I can win because I can knock people out. And Jim Green, he's also the partner to Caleb Coho, Kings of Winter, right there. So Caleb Coho is probably telling Jim, hey, study. However, I think Jim has made it known. I don't know. I'm not going to bring it up just in case. But Caleb is probably telling Jim, study. And RJ is most likely looking at Jim like, oh, I need to study against him because he is one half of Kings of Winter. Study. And so that match, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what sort of match they bring out. Moving on next to ranked number 16, Albert Wiederharma versus number 27th ranked Timothy Smith. Tim Smith versus Albert Wiederharma. Sorry, Albert, if I'm mispronouncing your last name. But yeah, Albert going in, number 6, rookie, 2-0. Again, when you're a rookie and you're walking in with an undefeated streak, again, I've said this multiple times, you get to have a little positivity in yourself and saying, hey, look, who can beat me? Who is going to beat me? And then he's probably going, it's like, no one's going to beat me. I can beat them. Come on. Be real. And then Tim Smith, one half of Ranger Force, is going in there with a 1-3 record. He has that 1 victory and 3 losses, but look, just because he has 3 losses, he still has that 1 victory, and he can use that to his advantage against Albert. Now, does he think he's probably going to beat Albert? I don't know. I haven't spoken to Albert, or I haven't spoken to Tim directly. I haven't asked him, like, hey, do you think you're going to beat Albert? He hasn't told me yes, he hasn't told me no. But I think for right now, he's very much studying his ass off to make sure that he can beat Albert. And Albert, I know for a fact right now, he's most likely studying to make sure that he makes it all the way and continues keeping that undefeated streak. All the people right now who have undefeated streak, let me look at them again. James, Chris, James White, Chris Doman, Albert, Doug, Douglas, Maggie, all of those people with undefeated streaks are most likely studying their asses off right now to make sure they remain undefeated. And then we get to the last match of this district, which is ranked the number 11th ranked EliMac, myself, versus the number 22 ranked Jake Marangoni. Now, I'm throwing all biases out of the way. My record right now is 3-4 with 1 knockout. The only I can say right now that 1 knockout is coming from the very first match that Multiplex ever aired for Fandom Fights, and that was all the way back last year when I had to play in for last year's summer tournament. And that was very much a match that I was very proud of, that I was able to get into the tournament, and even thinking to myself when, like, them putting me into that saying, oh, you have to earn your way, and I'm, like, ran the table and I beat everyone, and them saying, wow, Eli, we didn't expect you to have that much knowledge, and I was telling him, it was like, well, you should have believed me. But again, like, taking that out of the way, I'm very glad that I'm able to be in this tournament again, and I'm very glad that I'm going up against Jake Marangoni, who has a record of 1 win and 2 defeats. There's a special reason why I'm happy I'm going up against Jake Marangoni, because Jake and I have had a strong history with each other. I beat him in Fandom Fights. Yeah, I beat him in a Fandom Fights match. I beat him in a Movie Warzone match, and he beat me in a Movie Warzone match. So this is sort of a big old, and I believe I beat him, I think I'm his 2 losses in Fandom Fights. I can't remember. Caleb and Kane will most likely remind me, but he and I have both had great matches with each other. He and I have both looked at each other in the eyes and said, hey, I want to beat you. We have our own little personal rivalry because of how many times we fought each other. This is going to be the 4th time we go up against each other, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, this entire video is me going out of character, out of the showman character. This is me as the analyzer, EliMac, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this match has. I know I'm studying, I know Jake's studying with the Fellowship, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing if, when people watch this, they see, oh, Jake's a strong competitor, oh, Eli's a strong competitor. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this match ends up. So, looking over the Montuni District, again, we have Caleb Coho versus Cody Newberry, RJ versus Jim Green, Albert Wiradharma, I'm sorry, Albert, you're gonna kill me, versus Timothy Smith, and EliMac versus Jake Marangoni. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your bracket breakdown for the Fandom Fight Single Summer Series Tournament. Ha! I was able to get it all out this time. This tournament was brought together by Caleb Coho and Kane McMillan, commissioners of the Fandom Fights division, and this tournament is being brought to you by Multiplex Entertainment, the one fan league that has a movie Warzone, Fandom Fight, Sports Battlefield, TV Throwdown, Fandom TV, and Nerdgasm, and almost everything in between. I'm very glad that you all decided to click on the video and watch this. Who do you think is going to win the tournament? Who do you think is going to win Who do you think is going to win the Hogsmeade region, the Nowhere region, the New Blood district, the Montuni district? Who do you think is going to win those individual matches? Whatever you think, post your comments down below, or you can go to facebook.com to the Multiplex group, and there will be a bracket. Fill out your own bracket, post in the comments down there. Kane made a little mention when he posted up that bracket that you may get something special if you get it all exactly correct. So who knows what that might be. So I've been EliMac, your analyzer for this bracket breakdown. Hopefully the next time I do one of these is next time I do one of these is gonna be right after round 2, right after round 1, looking into round number 2, looking at all the people who won round 1 and seeing what the matches for round 2 are going to be had. So until next time, I've been EliMac, and I hope to have another people, maybe another panel with me. That way, just in case I don't have the stats, they can have the stats and they can inform me whenever I'm incorrect on something. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I've been MrEliMac. That's the third time I said my name. Thank you so much, and it's time for the fandoms to fight.